Pemirsa, kembali lagi bersama saya Nyoman Widianggreni dalam Gelar Wicara. So, I heard this is not your first isodel. This is how many times have you been in this symposium?
No, actually, this is my first isodel, but maybe it's not the first from UNESCO. Okay. But this is my very first isodel, yeah.
What do you think the importance of isodel in health?
I think it's
aiding its education.
I think this is very relevant, and then we should learn from Indonesia through SAT Corporation to organize such events, because it's providing a unique platform for teachers to get together and educationalists in a broad manner to get together and then benefit from experiences and then hear from the authorities also. So this first experience is quite catalytic for me and unique in the sense that I would love to attend the next isodels.
Yes. Have ICBA collaborate with the Asian countries, and if there is, what kind of programs, especially in teachers, developing the teachers' competencies, what kind of program that you have?
Yeah, in terms of cooperation, we call it SAT Corporation in our jargon, and we've been cooperating with CMO, with CMO Secretariat in Bangkok, and they came and visit us, and we have a memorandum of understanding. So we are currently giving some online lectures on specific issues which are typical to Africa, but then at the same time which Asia could take to use and then learn from it. Myself, I have given some 2 lectures in the CMO online lectures. That's one type of cooperation that we are doing. The second one is looking at also practices, where you're coming from and where you're heading with the plans. We learn a lot from Indonesia. I was earlier following a presentation from the Ministry of Finance, and it was a very inspiring presentation where he said that in the constitution of this country, 20% of the budget is allocated to the education sector. Yes. So there is no debate. I mean, it's in the constitution. When they do the budget, 20% just go to the education sector. I think this is, for example, a practice that I could go back with and then talk to the African countries to look at what Indonesia is doing. Because most of the countries, they don't meet the international standards in terms of allocating budget to the education sector. And yet, if you take that budget that is allocated to the education sector in African countries, 80% of it is paying salaries of teachers. So 20% is remaining for the infrastructure and for all of kind of development that you can think of.
So it's still too small, I guess.
Still too small.
Yes. Okay, what is the opportunity that we have to face this Education 4.0?
Education 4.0, I think the opportunity we have is to tap into this digital transformation which is ongoing. And then also, because we talk about learning and teachers, learning also occur in an environment. And that environment now has shifted. Before it used to be table and chairs and then facing a blackboard with chalk, but now this has evolved because kids, they have access to this technology themselves, and they enter the internet and the web. They can learn from that platform, but the teacher needs now to do that paradigm shift, not being a transmitter of knowledge, but a facilitator of acquiring knowledge. And in facilitating that process, the ICT plays an enormous role, which is to democratize the access to some kind of wisdom and knowledge.
What is your hope for the future of education?
My hope for the future of education is to be as open as possible, but at the same time having the lead of teachers, because teachers are still critical in the learning process. And then for me, for it to occur, we need some teachers who are ICT enhanced in terms of pedagogy, in terms of also use of the tools, because ICT remains a tool that you use for something. So the functional utility of ICT has to be inculcated to our teachers. So the future would most probably translate in the teacher training institutions and the universities to prepare teachers that are able to be giving the 21st century skills.
So that was the last question. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Ya, pemirsa, demikianlah perjumpaan kita kali ini. Saya Nyoman Widianggrini dan seluruh kru yang bertugas mohon undur diri. Terima kasih dan sampai jumpa.